This is my '06 Ford F250 with the 6.0 and the automatic transmission. Nothing major is done to it. I've been having an issue for about a year where every now and then it'll be a no crank, no start, and I'd have to crank it here using this wire and jumping it to the positive side of the battery to get it started. And once it starts fine. Recently the problem started to get worse where I got a code on the dashboard saying it's the gear selector little sensor inside of the transmission. Replaced it with a brand new one from Ford, and it didn't work. I've looked everywhere on the internet. People have said many things, and I finally decided to start looking into it. The day I started to try is the day I had to park it because I was driving it here and it died halfway through, and it just didn't want to crank and didn't want to shift properly, and I was like, crap, maybe my transmission. But I read everywhere that the transmission is never a problem, so I started off here. I'm looking into the wire harness on the passenger side that leads down. I took the wheel well off, it's a few bolts, and I got down and the harness there seemed to be okay. I looked at it everywhere. It seemed to be that it was chafing on this shock, the top of the shock right here where I'm pointing, but it was, so I took it all apart and it wasn't chafed at all. And then I started going down and down and down, and this is what I found, and hopefully this helps you out if you're having this or a similar issue. So I came to the other end and I said, you know what, I'm gonna remove the whole harness and look it over. But on the side of the transmission here, there is this harness, and it's a 10mm bolt, just one 10mm bolt. And inside of it looked okay. It looked a little wet, like transmission fluid and stuff like that, because I think it just leaks through. But if you can see here, there's that wire chafed, and if you follow it up, the same wire and another wire and another wire, and they're all touching the transmission somewhere. So it's just a bad design. It's not like this is a moving part or the transmission itself externally is a moving part, but you could see that this is definitely grounding out and up higher. Right here, 3 of them or so are grounding out. So I think that's what my problem is. I'm going to take care of this and put it all together and see if I can call it a fix. But I think this is it. So if you're having issues where your truck won't crank and you replace the sensor inside of here, you take the pan down and you get the pin out and you replace the sensor, and or if you know your sensor is good, or if you just want to look into it, pull this right here plug and look and see if there is chafing, because I know if mine is chafed, somebody else's might be. I've only got 200,000 miles on my truck, otherwise runs perfectly fine. But this is it. Hope this helped.